I bought a dead body for $100,000. I pretended it was my father and rushed it to the hospital for treatment. I begged the doctors to save my father and said I would pay whatever it took. The doctor didn't even look at the patient and just pushed the body into the OR. When they realized the patient was a corpse, they still insisted on operating. They know that desperate relatives will spend anything to save a loved one. And this was the perfect chance for the hospital to squeeze money from the family. In the next moment, a group of doctors put on a fake scramble. They acted frantic, rushing in and out of the OR like they were saving a life. Then the attending handed me a list of drugs and told me my father was critical. The doctor told me to run to the pharmacy next door because only that place had the special medicines. I bought 2 huge bags of drugs from the list and spent the equivalent of half a year's income. When I handed the bags to the nurse and kept asking what the medicines were actually for, the nurse turned cold and told me it was complicated. The very next second, the nurse took the drugs back to the pharmacy and scolded the pharmacist. She said they should have sold me the more expensive medicines. No sooner had I bought the necessary drugs than a doctor came out and asked for another $500,000 for surgery. When I said I'd already paid surgical fees when we first arrived, the doctor said my father's condition was urgent and they needed to hire a famous specialist for an extra fee. After I paid again, a solemn expert went into the OR. But while we anxiously waited outside, the operating room was eerily calm and all the staff sat around chatting. Every half hour or so, a doctor would come out, each one playing their part like seasoned actors. Only after asking me for money several more times did the doctors finally walk out with grave faces and tell me sorry. They said my father couldn't be saved and had died. I begged them to try anything else, but the doctors said no attempt could bring a dead person back. Then I suddenly grew calm and mocked them, saying they specialized in treating the dead. I pulled out the corpse's death certificate and told the doctors that the patient wasn't my father at all. I had bought the body from the crematorium and he had been dead for 3 days. I demanded to know what they had been doing in that, or for 8 hours. Was the whole point that as long as my bank account had money, the dead could always be given false hope of being saved?
Subscribe for more, like, and comment.